clever lyrics. Feel my spirit from your head to your speakers. Know where I'm headed, but riches. If you ain't with it, then good riddance. Popping and locking, I'll never be stopping. I'm talking, they'll never be breaking. I swear, I'm a jaw dropper.
For me, FNK has been like integral as far as his team is concerned. He's that IGL, that man that's dependable. He knows how to have a bit of fun as well with it. He doesn't just, you know, hard focus. This is what we're doing tactic wise. We're not doing anything else. He knows how to flex with the team and the way that the team's mentality is driven. SBT, the man is just a damage machine. I mean, like, there's no easy way of putting it. If you go in front of his rifle, you're gonna die, or he's gonna take a fair big chunk of health out of your pool and allow his teammates to back him up and get those final touches. TVS as well. I mean, all these guys are standout players as far as I'm concerned, and any team would be lucky to pick them up into the next season. How are we looking, though, as far as setups are concerned? I mean, Prodigies are on the CT side, and we can see it's a slow push coming in from Fragbox.
Ooh, it's a little bit. Straxy does go 1 for 1. There is a player over here towards Elevator, though, SBT. One of the danger men that you mentioned. That's a really nice, clean headshot to kick off proceedings. Swit, well, he knows the gun barrel is there. He can see it, but now needs to try and cross in over towards CT. The issue you have is that the utility has been dropped. These players have fallen by the wayside, and suddenly Fragbox is a really difficult way into the A-bomb site.
It really is, and they're not really giving themselves that much of an option. You do have one player up top mid, though. That's ESEA. He can kind of get some momentum here and some ground if he gets into short uncontested. And Nolan is kind of there, but not really able to hear much movement coming from him. He keeps flashing back and forward, checking that position, seeing if anyone's making that move. But it's already gone into place. And ESEA might be able to catch SBT off guard here. Gets the initial damage out, but SBT's good for it regardless. And Nolan and FNK finish things off. And that's the first run of the board for the Prodigies.
Yeah, you can see what Fragbox are trying to do there. As you quite rightly mentioned, just using the short player to try and eliminate, I think it was SBT, in towards the elevators, because that gun barrel was protruded, position given up. But it all starts with this fight over towards long with Straxy, and suddenly all the Prodigies just completely rotate in. Really nice shots coming in for SBT. Lovely quick pistol for the Prodigies, already upgrading the rifles. Force investment has come in for Fragbox, and that's a great way for the scout to kick off the proceedings. Man advantage does favour this T side.
It does indeed. There's a bit of damage laid out as well with the Molotov, not to be too soon forgotten there for Azul Tracks. I get the words right around here. But SBT, again, just a man on a mission, trying to get as many frags in his box as he possibly can. He picks up 2 on short. Oh, FNK not for this world much longer, mate. Unless you get some support. Nolan's the man to help him out in the end, and we go still kind of in favour of Fragbox, to be completely honest, your help pool wise.
Yeah, but we're not too sure on the Fragbox side how much of that damage has been confirmed by the teammates, so they can still try to play on this one a little bit carefully. Also, Drutax is quite low as well. Has to be careful not to be caught out towards the Xbox position. Does make his way over towards short now. But that bomb, he's going to be loud about the approach here. 45 seconds, the entirety of the Prodigy's roster is congregated over. But Alcinax will punish another smoke. This is mid to B, but surely he's just going to reconvene on short.
Has to, right? I mean, there's no position for him to really take towards B side. He's already got Sodrax pushing all the way through inside. FNK's been left alone here, but the grenade will finish him off in the end. And it's left alone with 12 HP to recover something out of this round. Spots the player making that little drastic move. Too much to ask, I feel, in that situation there. B-Dog, 12 HP to his name. Doesn't have the advantage of being unknown. He's in a obvious position to do the retake and gets caught out.
Yeah, a little bit tricky. I mean, there was a timing window there that you could have capitalized upon, but I feel like Fragbox played that well. They were both quite low, so just playing the headshot angles, trying to make it as difficult as possible. And that's a nice shot just to confirm the kill on the scout. So Forceby comes in for the T side. They do make it work with just one scout and a couple of deagles thrown into the mix. You're the Prodigies, you just need to kind of be a little bit settled. You can't let that rock you too much. It's a best of 3 series. We've touched on the maps just a little bit. For those of you that have just tuned in, it's Dust 2. This is the map pick of Fragbox. Then we will head to Inferno, which is the map pick of the Prodigies. If we do need it, that decider will be Mirage. And definitely for me, this is a map veto that favours the Prodigies.
It does indeed, yeah. I mean, you got to think of it like this as well, right? This map Dust 2 hasn't been too favorable for Prodigies. They've had a lot of opportunities to work on this map as well. Also, Jerome mentioned it last week when we were talking, last time me and him and Jammer were talking together, that maps like this where they have had a bit of a rough play on it, they have been working in the background to try and settle those nerves as far as playability on maps like this. So there's got to be a game plan somewhere out there. Dust 2 getting picked first off, they back into the second map, which is Inferno, which definitely favors them, and we'll see what happens as we lead forward in. Speaking of being forward in, Swift will take down SBT, that early advantage taken out of the fight as far as top mid control is concerned from Prodigies. But there's still players there in the mix. All of them will fall, however, and curse me, the commentator that I am.
It's a bit of a weird timing for TVS. Fragbox are aware that these players have just pushed forward because of the nature of where they've collected their kills in round number 3. Just going to group as a unit. Try and move forward. There goes those smokes that cross in. It allows a safer passage for Fragbox to make their move. They even diligently molly in all of the corners. FNK gets caught out in the open as a result of the fire and the flames. And suddenly, this round, it's a little bit more expected. You kind of expect Fragbox to convert these with just the pistols. And the best the Prodigies can hope for now is just a rifle on the way out.
If there's 2 players to get a rifle, it would be TVS and Straxley. They've been pretty good as far as the eco rounds have played out in previous maps. But again, the other thing I keep falling back to in my mind, and I keep going to mention it and forgetting to, so I'm going to mention it now while we have a brief few seconds, is that this is the first time these 2 teams have met each other in intermediate. So they've not really had that chance, other than watching maybe replays and demos, to kind of feel out each other and figure out how different players perform under pressure. Obviously, we've got the benefit of having watched Prodigies for the entirety of the season, so we know exactly how things should, in theory, play out. But this will be an eye-opening map for both sets of teams, I should imagine.
It'll be an interesting one. I think, especially in a game such as this, where the stakes are a little bit higher. Obviously, it's do or die for both of these teams in the playoffs, and they want to get as far along the rungs of the ladder as they can. Especially in map 1, you just want to have a few rounds where you just get settled into the series. Obviously, if you come out the gate swinging immediately, you get off to a great start. That's all well and good. But for the Prodigies here, where they've gone down a round, even after locking in the pistol as well, you just need to kind of just settle into this game. Just kind of take a moment to breathe. Just think, look, this isn't like the be-all and end-all. The fact that we are down a little bit of a deficit. It's going to be an eco because they did force into the previous round with the Deagles, and we are having a little bit of a pause, but that's fine. It just gives us and, well, the rest of the team just a moment to breathe and just kind of almost do what I say. Just kind of relax, get strapped in. Yeah, we're nearly there.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I think you're right in what you're saying as well. You see so many teams that jump into best of 3s like this. Their opening map, they have a couple of rounds where they lose. They start to get into that mentality of all or nothing, and they slowly slip and slip and slip, right? And you see that progress then into map 2. They go into map 2, with the wrong mindset in mind of being like, we've got no choice. We've got to throw everything at these guys, and you get tired out very, very quickly as well. We see this not just in the ESEA, of course. You see it in Pro League. You see it in everywhere, every sort of capacity as far as best of 3s and how they play out. So yeah, take a breather, sit back. Right, what's going wrong, what's going right. It's not all or nothing as of yet. We need to relax into it. don't know if that was intentional there. The look into the camera and breathe out a very big sigh there. But yeah, that pause will come in handy at least anyway to kind of settle nerves and get players ready. I think this is another tech pause, by the way, rather than the
Yeah, for sure.
rather than a normal pause.
Yeah, that's fine.
It wouldn't be CS without tech pauses, would it?
It's still, we're very much still in the online era of CS. We're fortunate that a couple of LAN events are just starting to come back into the fold, but for the most part, look, this is online CS, is what we're used to. Technical hiccups are always going to be just a part of the game, and look, the reason why we're having it now is so we don't have to have it later. That's the mentality.
Exactly.
We're only 3 rounds in. We're fine. It's not too bad. Just a reminder of the giveaway, by the way. You can see it in the right-hand portion of your screen. That question, by the way, is what is the Razer Leviathan V2X? Answer that in the chat. And, well, at the end of the series, one of you lucky people will be picking up either your choice of a Viper V2 Pro or a Def Adder V3 Pro wireless mouse. And then, do you know what? We'll even throw in a hand wraps set of gloves as well. Thank you to Razer and CSmoney.
I need to buy gloves. Sorry, I'm just reminding myself this again, to be honest with you, mate. Because if I don't, I'm just going to get reminded the next time we do a best of 3, and it's gloves for the giveaway, guaranteed. Yeah. Get the tech pause out the way now, though. That's actually a very handy way of looking at it. Because, I mean, we've all been there, right? We've all done those best of 3 commentaries where you get into map 3 and you're just like, right, let's wrap it up, boys. Like, someone take this one home for the win. You know, it's like 11, 12 o'clock at night. Or in some cases, if you're covering like NA, for example, it's 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. I want to, you know, I'm ready to go to bed. I can't drink any more coffee. And then all of a sudden it's tech pause. You know, OT1, OT2, and you're just like, come on, boys, get it over and done with. Yeah, tech pause at the very beginning of map 1. Perfect timing. I love that.
There you go. And look, we don't have to wait anymore, because look, we're right into the action. As we said, look, the Prodigies, they're going to be eco in this one. TVS, Straxy, keeping hold of the armor because they saved it into the previous. It's another aggressive flavor from the Prodigies, but they are just being shut down. Did throw this exact same round into the previous, and well, Fragbox, they are just completely clearing this up. Look, this is just a formality. This is what we expect. The real test will be in round number 5 when we get the full guns in play.
Exactly. I think we're going to probably head into a comms round for round 5 as well. So have a quick look at the team as they set themselves up. But let's listen in and see what they're saying.
Mid always.
Okay. I don't have molly, sorry.
I don't have molly either.
I will start doing pressure on mid, so I delay the control map, okay?
You coming with me long or?
Yeah.
Didn't see. Grenade.
Flashing long. They did the one way,
I will smoke doorway.
I
I have one more flash
Yeah,
behind.
wait
Flanker.
after my smoke.
Careful, I don't have shot, guys.
Flash.
Okay.
He flashed
Nice.
lower.
Flashing.
Okay, they're doing control map.
Oh.
Doubling first.
You can be out blue.
Yeah, I'm taking short. I fell down. Fuck.
You have
I'm
stepping
gonna
phone
leave.
shot or no?
I will go mid B.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, I got one
Molly
flash shot.
short.
They molly short, yeah. Or no, they molly close mid.
Okay, molly mid. Maybe fake molly. Careful.
Yeah, he's behind it.
If they mid to be,
They
you
smoke
smoke
me to B. They
Smoke door,
smoke
no,
me to B.
smoke door. And all the window, I'm ulting
They know I'm
They-
in rotation, so don't
I
think
did.
they will go mid.
Let's push B, Nolan. I will flash you deep. Too
Do
close.
it. Do it.
Flashing.
No one here.
One
is safe.
short, one short.
Yeah, it's gonna be.
Two short.
Short exec.
Short exec, yeah.
Just try to play with
Flashing behind you
TVS.
there.
One should be
Smoking a
dark.
smoke. I'm full white. They're going out.
I don't see short.
I'm running
One dead,
CT,
one more
okay?
side. Dead
Nice.
side.
I'm going
One
CT
more.
on nade.
One more
Oh, shit.
Gandalf.
Okay, wait for the long.
Watch out long lurk.
Short.
I did step on CT.
Short.
The lurk is on short.
South.
Nice try.
Unlucky that round, B-Dog. Didn't quite catch the call perfectly, right? There was that thought of them maybe swinging from mid to B and having an execute on B, and you could hear the players on B site getting ready to potentially retake from tunnels, but it never came to fruition in the end, and getting caught on the rotate to A at the last minute is never the nicest position to be in as a player.
Yeah, I mean, look, the reaction as soon as the kill came in towards middle was perfect from the Prodigies. It almost just came in maybe like 5 seconds too late. We did see a reaction with the smoke in towards the doorway as well, but look, we can jump into that in just a second because the action is all unfolding immediately. TVS, a good kill on the scout. It looks like the Prodigies, they're just brought down to around about $2,000 a player. It means that they can give themselves a good opportunity in this one and then reinvest into the next. But Fragbox right now, they are just completely getting rid of all of these partial invested players. SBT will hold on to the AWP and try and save that into the next. Bomb planted. It's been a strong start for the opposition so far to kick off the proceedings. However, what's nice to hear in these comms rounds as well, especially in a round that's such importance on it, such as the first gun round, is how calm they all are as well. The communication is clear. The ideas and the reactions were not only correct, but they were just immediately called out the gate. They understand the protocols of Prodigies. It's good to see. We can almost just kind of reflect and look back at how this has really developed over the season. And kind of each time you listen in, as SBT is collecting all of the Fragbox players trying to hunt him down, that this just kind of methodology and the overall understanding of the game has improved week on week. And that's been a visible and just an audio difference that I'm just excited and happy to be a part of when I come in here and I listen to these team rounds.
Yeah, definitely. I completely echo exactly what you're referring to. I mean, it's wonderful to listen into those comm rounds and hear, the mechanics are working. I think it just needs to hit right that one time, right? And all of a sudden they can call Fragbox's they can call Fragbox's Fragbox call their bluff is what I'm trying to say. Can't get my words out today. Apologies, everyone. But yeah, I think that starting point for Prodigy is not too healthy. SBT will pick up the AWP from TVS's corpse. Nolan's a man on his own here on an island. He's not got anyone really to help him out too much. Straxy's there to try delay things, but he'll fall in the end. Actually, it was a double AWP setup rather than a single AWP setup on CT side of things, B-Dog.
Yeah, it's heavy investment. When it works out fine, or alternatively, you kind of pick up the double AWP if you're feeling a little bit like you can't always hold on to these angles. Fragbox, for the most part, they've been playing a default round. However, this call was just extremely decisive, just straight out the gate. And I feel like the biggest difference right now from what we're seeing between the two teams is that Fragbox is definitely in control of the tempo of the game. And they're just playing their own game. The Prodigies are really just playing into them. That's a really nice shot from Zrutax. But yeah, it's another one of these things where it's just like, okay, just settle down a little bit. Play how you want to play. But it's been a very strong start for Fragbox. Their best 2 is looking pretty formidable. And it makes sense why they've picked it here against the Prodigies.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely makes sense. I mean, you look back over Fragbox's history, they've played Mirage, their first opening map of the season, I should say, against Lost Mary, the one that's 16-3. I think we both kind of looked over their best of 3s very briefly before we started off tonight, and it was picked on more than one occasion, across their last 3 best of 3s as well. So definitely a favourable map for them at least, and we are needing to take into consideration as well, of course, that we do head into our favourable map, which is Inferno, after this one. So who knows how it will fall in the end. But for the moment, at least anyway, it does, as you mentioned, seem like Fragbox is setting the pace and the momentum.
Yeah, I mean, look, you look at this at a high level as well, and you say, okay, well, look, the Prodigies have only played it once all season. And they did lose. It was a close encounter, but it was still a loss. They haven't really got the reps in on this map, so it kind of makes sense why it's falling this way. However, back in on the buy as a result of 2 AWPs being saved over. Prodigies, they are going to force back round it. Early long control trying to be established from Fragbox, but they're going to move away now. try and relocate towards top middle. And really, that's where the threat of the FAMAS could really chime in at close towards the doorway. You've got a boost that's been established on towards short as well. So Prodigies, in this round, they've actually got very good control. Retake B setup as well. So that means that Nolan can't really get overwhelmed in case they do decide to execute on towards the bomb site.
It would seem, at least anyway, from minimap, that is going to be the case coming in from Fragbox. A lot of utility usage coming out there. F&K good on that first frag. He only spots the one player close because that is the only player that's there. But Nolan isn't overwhelmed in this scenario immediately. He does take down 2 players for the better. And SBT is given a little bit more room to maneuver on the back lines and slices the dome off 2 players.
That was so much better. What a really good round by the Prodigies. In that one, they've just taken control over towards mid and short. They're making sure if Fragbox do elect to run for this default, it's punished. This is why you got the double auto setup as well, because you can just deploy FNK on his own. He can be that anchor player, almost like a turret with that sniper overwatching towards the bomb site. And that's good. It's a lot better. It's a step in the right direction. Speaking of steps in the right direction, SBT got a pretty good read that there's players in towards lower tunnels, trying to just catch out the default before it can really begin.
It's good control as well from SBT not to swing off the back of that flash, right? Because you're going to expect that Fragbox player is going to be coming around that corner, trying to take advantage of the flash just being dropped, but instead he kind of holds his own and then immediately rotates back out of that position. He's got all the information they need, but at that point, he no longer needs to kind of sit in that same stagnant place and wait to be pushed by someone.
Yeah, now look at FNK. And also SBT's being this dynamic player, just rotating in. He started lower, now he went over to B, dropped his utility. Now he's rotating all the way over to A. Fragbox take control as short. It's the only piece of the map that Prodigies haven't really put any of their forces towards. And it's going to be a quicker execute. The smokes, they're already down.
Big flash in from Fragbox. That Molotov is perfectly placed by SBT on guard immediately. Has to forfeit that little bit of a extra advantage he'd had in that position to stop the bomb plant from going through, but Fragbox will get it down in the end. This is a really good setup moment here from Prodigies as far as retake is concerned. They've got SBT deep, so he can really lay the hit on, and he is already. He's starting out perfectly with a 3k. Goes for the 4th, isn't quite able to secure it, but it's done nonetheless. Really well worked retake from Prodigies.
Yeah, that was good. They also it was the fact that they had so much utility as well at their disposal. Grouped up, played off the flashes perfectly. Flashbangs were absolutely incredible. Let's jump in and see what they have got as a game plan going forward in this round.
I was thinking about supporting long, but you have op as well, so I'll just go.
We need one up on mid.
Yeah, I'll just go help take long.
I'll open mid.
We
I'll
stay 2
molotov
mid at the beginning.
blue.
Yeah. Yeah, let's head scoping him low.
I'll
Bring
do
on.
it.
Ready to flash and B.
Okay, I'm holding the
Yeah.
peak.
I'm gonna need deep.
Let's just stay 2 long setup. You
Lower
can't go
one.
short, right?
One lower step.
Up to mid. Oh, it's still gonna flash
One
again.
outside
I'm
long.
picking.
I will play close again.
I'm blind.
One more.
Nice.
Mid.
I flashed
Oh,
one
mid.
mid. I flashed.
I'm all it.
I smoked tunnel. No, I
It's
didn't.
not out.
I smoked
Careful
tunnel.
shot, guys.
Tunnel.
Okay, I'm letting go of long.
It is just first smoke.
I'm sitting in the lower smoke.
Up is still
Could
alive.
be on top of box.
Yeah, he likes to go top box with the lurk. If it's not just a diversion.
Dead to mid. He was
there
looking
a
behind long.
He should be alone.
Is there a healer?
It should
Yeah,
be
say
B
that.
or short. B
Okay,
or short.
watch out B.
Holding B. Need bait for me?
Yeah. I don't see B.
One short coming.
Short.
Pushing tunnel.
Short exec.
Push tunnel.
I'm flashing in front side there. Watch out.
Clear.
Yeah, smoke
go
for you.
wide.
Okay. Side.
Upside.
Pushing side. One
Dead
more.
One clear.
One more.
2, both.
They're on side.
Going short.
Me too. I have a molly.
They molded me.
They have up alive.
Yeah, I'm 10 HP.
Yeah.
They can
Yeah.
have my
I'm gonna swing square.
Close and close.
Unfortunate there, B-Dog.
Yeah, it's another one of those rounds where Prodigies are in the right setup. Basically, what's happening is where the Prodigies are taking control more over towards mid. They're not taking the early fights. Fragbox, it's almost funnels them into this short execute. We've seen that round after round now, and it's another test for the 8 anchor players. Unfortunately, TVS fluffs his lines a couple of moments in the game, which is unexpected for him. Doesn't normally happen that way. That flash is perfect, though, but TVS will still capitalize upon it. Kills will actually favor the Prodigies because there's a team kill in the mix of Fragbox. Now Straxy can try and step in. The bomb, it's been dropped on an island. FNK will try and swing over, but dropping the smoke, it's perfect because the rotations can now come in.
It's all about buying that time as well, and good adjustments here and there coming in from Prodigies. Nice to see those smokes getting deployed. That team kill obviously goes massively in their favor as far as trying to hold on to a site. Feel an adjustment is also needed for short. We heard them in that comms round talking about, you know, we're just going to hold long for this round. As you mentioned, we've seen that on more than one occasion now where they've foregone, you know, having any kind of movement towards short other than maybe, you know, a player box is waiting for that movement, but maybe an adjustment coming in for future rounds. That Molotov will start or give some indication that someone's nearby for SBT. There'll be a re-smoke coming in from Fragbox and the boost starts. I like this boost, by the way. It's one of my favorite things on this map. But SBT is good for the first and no one will pick up the second. That boost works so well in principle, right? Like if you can pull it off, it's perfect to get that A kill. You give yourself that little bit of a front foot in towards the A push.
Yeah, I think the issue with the boost is where it was so close to the smoke. You can kind of see the gun barrel just kind of protruding from it. I reckon if they were about half a step back, that would have actually worked out a lot better for them. But nevertheless, what's more important is the fact that the Prodigies are working their way back into this game. It's now 7 rounds to 4, but look at the change of pace from Fragbox. They're running through the Molotov. It's a lot of damage, but the pace could try and catch out the Prodigies. But FNK and Straxy are holding firm. Oh, that is until Zeusa just comes in, and then Swit is that long player. We talked about the HP bars, though. This is still really doable for the Prodigies to try and retake him, but you take a look at the bank balance. Is it even really worth going for?
It's not. I mean, Nolan's got a little bit of utility. He needs to keep that armor up. The AWP can't be repurchased back into the next round. Or TVS is lucky there that shot didn't come through. They're really going to retake this.
We'll get going. 10 seconds left. Oh, wow. TVS, yeah, spots out the player at Goose as well. Information conveyed to Nolan, but they can't deal with the car player. Yeah, that's one of those ones where I feel like, although you know that some of the players are low, yeah, do you know what? I don't blame them for going for that. It does make sense in principle. You've heard them run through the incendiaries. You know they're on a weaker buy with the Mac 10s. It's just a bit unfortunate it just didn't really pan out the way the Prodigies would have hoped for. But you take a look at the buy now and you think, well, it comes at a very heavy cost.
It's a very nice stack there from AWP. Moving with each other as well, which is not often seen. Especially a matchmaker for me, at least, anyway. I'll ask him to stand there. I'll jump on head, and then all of a sudden I'm like, well, you've moved now, and I've lost all the advantage I had. Put Molotov there into tunnels. That forces a player back. Nolan is in no man's land there for a second.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
they are looking towards log, and that's fine because that's where the investment of the Prodigies actually resides. So there's still a minute left on the clock. Fragbox, of course, they don't have to go for this, and that's a nice tag. Just softening up these players so the pistols could actually do the damage later on. TVS just keeps on swinging, keeps doing more damage. Straxy and FNK to now be tested. That bomb, it's making its way over, so this will be the final destination. But the Prodigies, their health points are dwindling and their numbers are falling.
Still flabbergasted that FNK is still alive in that position for as long as he was. I think he was taking fire from like 3 different players at one point, but he managed to connect onto one. Not enough, however, to secure the round. But as you said, there's a lot of damage that's being dealt out by the Prodigies onto Fragbox, just not enough to secure kills. It's a really kind of weird scenario to be in, right? In this sort of this map, in the way that get words out. Oh, I can't speak English today. Forgive me, B-Dog. I'm bringing down your brain cells.
You're fine,
I know
you're fine.
by me just waffling you, but like my mentality of it is like you need to adjust on to the way that Fragbox is playing. If they're controlling the pace and tempo, even on pistol rounds, right? You need to try and adjust onto that. But oh, SPK, SPT even.
Yeah, the issue you have is that Drutax has just pushed tunnels, so
yeah,
he's just gone, okay, oh, I've got a Mac 10, I know they're on a lower buy, I'm just going to try and run through, find the space, finds a completely empty bomb site. So, whilst that looks a little bit dangerous in the interim, it's all coming up Fragbox. They're looking good to get double digits in the first half of their map pick. It's a best of 3 though, so plenty more time. TVS, that's a nice deagle shot, but that grenade completely finishes him off because he doesn't have any armor. Last round of the first half, so it's another opportunity. It will be a full buy for the Prodigies. Let's hear what they've got going on in the camp.
I'm gonna do flash, but I have only one.
I give you one.
We only have 1 kick, guys.
Okay. I'm gonna do pressure on mid and instantly come B with you, Nolan, okay?
Yeah.
I'm gonna molly long doors
Aggressive.
from here instead.
I'm gonna play default.
Okay, smoky clocks, I'm ready top mid.
No, not long.
I'm ready to flash and B play
I'm
pop.
gonna go mid.
Careful
Let's say
lower,
double
step.
long.
Don't have step.
I have mid.
I'm playing,
I'm playing
clown.
They
anti-flash.
can be
Thank
Yeah,
short.
I have
If they're
the...
coming, be execute again. Be
I will
city
flash in
smoke.
front of
I mean,
big box.
I smoked, I'm
Flash in
blind.
Xbox. Careful,
Flashing behind you.
Okay, I'm falling back.
I'm burning. 1 more health.
Yeah, take flashes here.
His
Oh,
car
I
is
won.
dead.
Ooh, difficult one. 4 versus 3, FNK just trying to peer on over. But look at Azadot on this flank. This should be the nail in the coffin. TVS, he's lining up U2. He's not even looking the right way. Oh, has he got... Oh, I thought he was playing trigger discipline, but actually just didn't spot out the player. Doesn't matter. Bomb is halfway ticked. 4 versus 2. B bomb site notoriously very difficult to retake. Prodigy's trying to go in through the window, but Alsanax will combine with his teammate as well. 11-4. Not the first half we really would have hoped for, Steve. As well, this squad, it's only been together for this entire season, so they're showing good things. I feel like the map pick going down the road will be favouring the Prodigy, especially in Inferno, and then looking forward to Mirage. It'd be interesting to see how they will respond, because Prodigies in the playoffs are yet to drop a map in a series in best of 3s. But, look, there's still always a way back into a game of Counter-Strike. That's why we love it so much. And it all begins with the pistol here. Prodigy's trying to lay down a better foundation for their second half. It's going to be a quick one out towards B as well.
Indeed, Zurax, the player in question from the first half, at least now we're doing a lot of the initial damages there, but we get taken out in the end by Nolan, but he does get a lot of tap damage on 2 players, one for his own kill there and helps out a teammate with a second. FNK. FNK. Oh, FNK. Oh. He can't get the 4th, but the damage is already done, mate. He's just taken 3 players out of that fight before it even begins. Perfect trigger discipline there to get all 3 in sights. Gives Nolan and TVS a fighting chance taking on ESEA, and that is it. That is a really good pistol round coming in from Prodigies.
Give me a replay of that. Look at this. Just when you think it's going to be very difficult for the Prodigies to get themselves back into this, it's the player disadvantage, but FNK does not care. And that is an unbelievable way to get the Prodigies back on track. Really important pistol round has now been secured. The question is, can they follow up? Because last time around in this first half, Fragbox, they won out the force by Prodigies. They're looking to go quick out long. Azadot's already been caught off guard. It's a good opener in round number 17.
Dig deep, Prodigies. You can do this. You've got to get yourselves into that side control. You've got to take all that advantage out of ESEA with that scout, and they managed to pull it off. Swit, man in his own, gets taken out as well by Nolan, and this push is going in fast and strong onto a side as far as Prodigies are concerned. CTs have no choice but to fall back and try and recuperate some sort of ground to try and get a rifle out of this. Strangely enough, though, we have a man missing from this push, and it's SBT. Sat back, waiting in T-side spawn, just in case the rotation comes through, of course, towards long, but we have the benefit of seeing mini-map, and we know that Fragbox have no intentions of going anywhere near this site at all. They want to keep those upgraded pistols and armor.
Yeah, that's a much nicer round from the Prodigies. Going out long, it means that you're always going to be naturally favoured in these gunfights anyway, because you've got the upgraded weaponry trying to keep the fights at distance. Also, the trade spacing was very good. Just send 4 players out immediately. You can see that quite a number of bullets were landing all the way over along, which enables Straxy to get that first kill, and much better. Nice little fan cam moment. All right, Nolan, we see you.
All right, mate.
Oh, it's actually
Once again,
yeah,
it was as well. He gets 2 out of it. I think he got 3K out of that, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, I mean, you know, I think we need to say one thing. Thank you very much to production, of course, for giving us that one highlight moment there of Nolan just sending his love out to all the people watching at home. Ready into round 18 and see if he can continue to pick up that slack. There's an entire stack of CTs on long A, but nothing towards B. So this should be taken for free by the Prodigies.
Yeah. It will be as well. And this is why 11-4. This is why people say, oh yeah, it's a really dangerous scoreline. Because if you think about it, you win the pistol, you then get the follow-up. This one is always a freebie. So suddenly you're 11-7. If the Prodigies go on and win the gun round, Fragbox like, oh no, okay, 11-8 gets a little bit dangerous. But also, the Prodigies have just started flawlessly. Look at Nolan go. Collecting all of these kills, not a problem for him. 4 in the round. Nicely done.
I'm waiting for the camera. Is he going to do it again?
It's just an eco.
No, he's not going to. Nah, it's an eco. Yeah, he's happy with the round prior, but that's an eco. 4K should be expected, right? Let's listen to the comms. I want to see what this atmosphere is looking like at the moment for these guys.
Just
Just guys, do a lot of flashes around Pete. You can run left side corner, Straxy, okay? Like
Yeah,
smoke.
Yeah, I know.
Flash.
only me flashing. What the fuck?
Bro, I think I missed.
I'm holding top mid.
He's wrong.
I'm blind.
Dead.
Left side.
Maybe one more.
He's through.
Taking the Mori.
He's behind the smoke.
Coming to you guys.
Car
Car
open
open.
behind the smoke.
Wait, here, take flash. Can you flash me for car?
Yeah, wait. Flashing.
Walked off.
I'm Mori. Pushing the back.
Holding left side of the smoke.
I'm just taking one more Mori. I will Mori him again.
You wait after the smoke.
Yeah. One is shot.
Okay,
Fading?
it's fading.
Yeah,
Fading.
I'm Mori. And I flash. Flashing.
He's right side dead.
I smoke one time. No, you can.
One is pushing behind you.
Okay,
Yeah.
just let me search towards
Yeah.
side.
Yeah, go with him, SPT.
Yeah, one is mid. Just I'm smoking. Coming with you.
Wait 1 second.
Don't see
Tigger,
her. They flash.
I'm with you. I'm with you.
I'm blind. On site.
That's right.
For sure.
Yeah.
Guys, let's focus, please. I said heavy long, not only 2 flashes. Just
I don't know,
Please.
guys. Focus.
Can you drop no long?
Yeah, important round to win there, B-Dog, but didn't come to fruition in the end for the Prodigies. Took a few scalps here and there, but it seemed to. I kind of echo in what FNK is saying there right at the very end. There wasn't a lot of meaningful movement towards long, and I think Fragbox were happy to kind of pick up that extra slack they were allowed to take essentially.
Well, this round, the start of it, this is exactly what FNK actually wanted. It's more aggression towards this long positioning, more flashbangs to enable his team to get out safely. Because it's a little bit difficult when only half the team follows the game plan in minds. It's been set in stone for round number 19. It's a cool reaction, though, for Fragbox, though. Look, they're taking control in towards lower. You got 2 players pushing that position. You also got the AWP just scoped up. So they're going to get a lot of info here. They know it's going to be more towards A because they've cleaned out the entirety of the rest of the map. And look what it's done to the rotations. They're all moving back over to this bomb site. Prodigies, they're in a little bit of trouble. They've got to try and fight their way into the bomb site.
Got a smattering of utility to get themselves into position there. A. Should that come to fruition, TVS starts things off on the front foot at least anyway, taking out Asdot. That AWP is still out there though in the hands of Swit, and he's been lethal so far in the last 19 rounds at least. The Molotov is burning around him, and he's forced out of a decent position there at Gandalf. Nolan will pick up another for his 17th kill of this match so far against Sousa. Swit's back in position, and he's able to chime in on one against Nolan. He's looking for more, but Zertax, man's been deadly on the rotation, but not this time round. Straxy's got his card red, and FNK and SPT finish the round out for us and put us on 8.
Yeah, that looked really good for the Prodigies, considering the situation that Fragbox found themselves in, right? We're talking about the amount of map control that they managed to find on the CT side, but it's just these two smokes. Even this opener is just ridiculous, by the way, but as soon as the smokes come in, and then you flashbangs, the Molotov, you already called on it, perfect in towards Gandalf, it makes it so uncomfortable, and well, TVS makes it around a little bit more uncomfortable for Zeus, so has to go back and just watch the rest of his team with the Deagles. This should be a 9th. Should be, and it will be, because TVS has found a second opening kill. Lovely stuff from the Prodigy, just making sure it's important to just stay alive, really, just start building the economy. You don't want too many casualties here as the rest of Fragbox do group up towards short. That's a nice Deagle shot, but now the trades are coming in. Oh, hang on a second. Could get a little bit dangerous because now these fights are isolated and Drutax can hit some of these shots. This is not what the Prodigies were hoping for. And now even with this going on, you've got TVS trying to hold in, trying to lock this one in, can give the information over to FNK. And he does clean that one up. So, it's not the cleanest round in the world, but the bomb's planted. The economy is built up just a little bit. Off the back of that, let's listen in after these highlights just appear on the screen. It's another very important rifle round for the Prodigies to try and pick up.
Listen,
drop another
Straxy.
smoke here.
Yeah, drop flashes there. No, you need to keep it. You buy time. Go blue.
Ah, okay. Yeah,
Yeah, and stop the molly.
Drop your smoke team at the entrance of tunnel. I will take it.
I'm gonna hold over.
Flashing.
Thanks.
Flashing.
Move
Okay, they
instantly.
smoked off towns.
Guys, maybe 2 mid. 2 mid.
Yeah,
Maybe he's
Smoked
going
off
back.
towns.
Let's
I can't
cancel.
be.
Let's
There's
Oh,
cancel.
he has
doors
no
for
molly,
nothing
guys. He has
else.
no
I
molly.
could
Just
search B after the
chill,
smoke.
chill,
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 After the
chill.
smoke.
They are playing short close. Wait,
Yeah.
wait, Nolan.
He has
Can you
no
do
molly.
German molly?
Yes, wait.
We'll flash
Just
over.
stay alive there, Straxy. Flash you one time over here, wait. Okay,
Wait,
do
guys,
molly.
I'm gonna
We're
We're
search
taking
taking
B.
long.
Flashing
We're
Nolan.
taking long, guys.
I missed.
Oh,
Any
I
help?
didn't see short.
I cannot
Wait, I
up
peek.
smoke.
I peek.
I pick shot.
I'm
I
only
don't see
short.
anyone picking D.
Guys, let's end
Wait for molly, wait
split
for
B. Split A, I mean. Split A, okay?
Yeah, I will smoke inch.
Okay, I'm
They
falling
don't
back
have long,
on
so
tunnels.
watch out short.
Molly
Watch
and
out
Scope
I-
down the
short.
corner. Scope down the corner.
He mollied you.
I will do second molly up.
Mid.
Too long, too long, too long.
Okay, let's
He's
go
close
fast
to
short.
short.
Let's go fast short.
You lost the timing, don't go anymore. Throw smokes and we go mid
We
B.
can execute. Okay.
Oh,
They
okay,
flashed tunnels.
execute.
They
then
took
execute.
info tunnels.
Let's
guys.
execute on it.
Only
Yeah.
one smoke.
What smoke?
Only
Do
one
the
smoke.
vanguard.
though.
Do the
I'm
vanguard.
molly.
Take the bomb, please.
We need to do, guys, flash over and flash for
Yeah.
the up.
Did the one
Yeah,
go?
I'll flash
I will
over.
do-
I'll flash- behind
Pushing
now.
left. Side dead.
One long with up.
Up
Wait, I
long.
flash him. Flashing.
Good.
I watch
Take
you
short,
back.
take short,
Yeah,
take short
yeah.
together. Fuck long. I'm planting.
Let's fight on short.
Yeah.
One is low
Wait,
from me.
I'm far away.
3, 2,
2,
1.
1, go.
Okay, I'm gonna run CT. Just stay short.
I've nailed.
Just try to watch the cross city for me from short.
Yeah.
Long one. One more long.
I'm gonna pick CT.
One more long. Dead. I'm nading city.
Okay, CT light.
City, stay alive, stay alive.
Ramp, ramp.
Ramp.
Just stay alive.
Ramp and CT.
Yeah. Molly me. Swinging.
They're like-
City. City.
Nice!
Me high.
Throw me high.
Nice, good job.
Good job.
Hey,
But we're
wait,
taking too long or short there.
Okay, guys.
Shaky round, but a round on the board nonetheless.
Oh.
I think it's probably the better way of putting it. There's a lot of communication in that round to really break down, right? I mean, it's to and fro in. Which side are we going to go to? Are we going to execute here? Are we going to rotate back off? There's a lot of mismatched communication, but in the end, it works out right for Prodigies. They're able to put one on the board, and we move on to round 23 and leave round 22 behind in that shakiness into a pistol round.
Oh.
Yeah, I know.
there's a few comms in there that is worth breaking down. We can talk about them because
Yes.
there's not really too much happening right now. If Fragbox start collecting these kills on the Deagles, we will look back at the round. But that previous one, the first one was as soon as they get some control, there's a lot of noise going on. Guys they're just throwing ideas left and right. And FNK's really like, right, just be quiet, just settle down a little bit. It's fine. Focus. Good stuff to hear that. Secondly, as soon as he said, by the way, guys, we've lost the timing, or has he not found one? Does fluff his lines though. As soon as they go, okay, we lost the timing here. We can't really go for this. Oh, there's some pretty nice shots going on, but it's fine. It's gonna come to pretty much nothing. They're gonna hold on to these rifles, so I can carry on waffling.
Yes.
Yeah. As soon as the quote was, okay, we've lost the timing. We can't go for this immediately. If they were just all on the same page and they go, yeah, short execute. If they just listen to FNK and they go, yes, let's do it, let's go. But no, it's just that hesitation. The hesitation nearly costs them because you see that lower tunnels push as a reaction from Fragbox. But thankfully, the Prodigies, once they all are on the same page, they play really good CS. So that was a really nice execute into it. Was shaky, was terrifying. But look, they get another one. And now, this was 11-4 at the half. Suddenly, it's 12-11.
Yeah, exactly. It's a world away what we thought that first half was ending like, right? I mean,
yeah, true.
You know, there were. I mean, I floated the idea of potentially a quick first map, get into the second map, third map, get it over and done with that way. But realistically speaking, Prodigy's here to fight for every round possible on this one, and they're not going to let it go lightly. I mean, yeah, a little bit of a trade secret for those watching at home. When you guys listen to comms rounds, me and B Dog are muted basically in our own microphones, so you can't hear us. But if you could have heard my microphone, there was moments there where I was going, oh, you know, I think making every noise under the sun more or less because like, oh my god, this round is just going to and fro completely, and you can hear the comms mixtures. There was a lot to break down in that round, but 11 on the board, B Dog. It's looking more and more hopeful as things progress. Be interested to see how Fragbox come back after that eco round. I mean, they've got an open and AK in play now.
Yeah, it'd be an interesting one. We might have comms for this round.
We'll continue as we are, though, just in case we don't have comms straight away. There's that ult coming into play in the hands of Swit. Looking to try and connect up onto mid, but nothing there for him to really connect on as such. He does get a little bit of information gained, and you can see there's a little bit of an adjustment from Fragbox onto mid. You can see some trading of utility happening between, I think it's ESEA and also Swit as well, trying to get stacked ready for that potential mid push coming through. Swit in locked in position, but TVS is too quick for him. ESEA, who has been, I'll be completely frank with you, has been pretty much instrumental as far as Fragbox is concerned for a lot of these, high impact rounds. He's left standing alone on mid. He does have a couple of options around him to work with, but he's got a flash and a molly that he can really potentially kind of slice the pie essentially with from Prodigy's side, but it's whether or not he reads into that short play coming through.
This is the gap, though, and this is what the Prodigies are exploiting. And this also has been the kind of staple for success for the Prodigies. They're going to execute this in now. There's no one here to greet this, so the bomb can be planted. Prodigies, they do really well when they plant for short and then just play from this short position. This time they're taking a little bit of a deeper space, but because they've got no information out towards the long extremity, they're just going to tuck all the way back in and wait. This timing could be a little bit interesting. SBT has caught one in the back lines, just playing trigger discipline. ESEA is removed. That's a high impactful player. And suddenly, you take a look at the stand-ins for Fragbox, you take a look at the scenario that they're in. If SBT kills these players here, makes it really difficult for them to reinvest in. Prodigies, they're already on the front foot because of the momentum, but the economic finances in play, this could be really good if SBT finds these kills.
All going to come down to timing. Oh, you'll start to tap through the door, but doesn't connect onto anything. Immediately falls back out of position to get himself back towards T-spawn. Gets caught out by Hazard. I mean, it's still reinvestment, right? They can still rebuy into this one for SBT as well. Also, got bomb plant down, a couple of kills on the board as well. Also, there's still room to maneuver into getting that 13th round. This could be potentially the round that we see Prodigies take the front foot for the first time in this map.
It's just so impressed by what we're seeing out of this second half. We were talking about mental resilience. We're talking about it in the series in general. But the fact that it's already coming out in this manner, it's just really impressive. And it's just really promising signs to see. And well, look, I got that notification. It's time for another comms round. Let's check in with the team and see if they can take the lead.
I'm just
should I give
gonna
up
look
to
at the
you?
ground.
Yeah, just drop it here, we will take it after.
Yep.
And just hold the passive B,
Yeah,
SPT.
don't worry.
No, I took one.
You're...
Flash in deep.
He's through dead.
City,
one.
city, jump back, he jump back.
Okay, I'm
City.
jumping down pit,
City
I'm jumping down
peeking,
pit.
city peeking.
Kill.
Wait, I'm picking.
Yeah, just come back now
He's
to
not
B.
on B.
He's pushed to C side.
Okay,
Yeah.
go help him.
With you.
C side still.
I take timing.
Dead.
Nice.
Nice.
Nice, 5v3.
I think you have timing in B, SPT.
Yeah, I'm crossing the
I
smoke.
do Xbox. I did Xbox. I leave.
Just come back to B.
I'm
Should
still
be
in pit.
lower, right?
I have my
Attention,
bishop.
I'm out on B, guys.
Yeah, he should be outside B for sure. Let's walk here for lore. Walk.
I'm close window.
On site dead.
Nice,
oh.
good job. Let's go.
I'm close
Keep
window.
walking, keep walking. He can be in lore. Just orange, you take lore from us. You can
Okay,
stay from
orange.
this one.
Yes, I'm holding their op. It's,
No, maybe
third
it is
CT.
fun, but
You need to hunt them. I'm not planting yet. Go hunt them.
Their op is dead, guys.
I'm holding
Okay,
city.
Kill the
Fun.
op.
2 CT, 1 on trash, 1 left side CT.
Yeah, I'm planting now.
Dead CT
Yeah,
one.
CT is up with me.
Nice!
Nice,
Nice, boys.
Let's go.
They only do
go.
exit kills, those piece of shit.
Okay, name semi by now. We need to do the German defense.
Do you know what I love, V-Dog? What I
Yeah.
love the most is an IGL that's not afraid to be like, I'm not planting, go hunt.
Yeah.
Go kill them. Come on, we need to punish them in this round. We need to make sure they don't retain as much as they possibly can into the next. Take that little bit of an extra risk. We're hitting into 13th round. Let's get it going, Let's start the momentum as we mean to go on.
Yeah, really well played in that round. Just every single element just came together. Punishing the push through the smoke as well. Azidot, he's tried to do that and has found success in the past. Meanwhile, moving into this one, it's a little bit more of a default. Molotov in even off the lower connector, trying to make sure no one's there, but also it can act as a little bit of a ruse, so that the Prodigies, well, they're not there either. Look at this. Look at the reaction from Fragbox. You see that the Prodigies do execute into short time and time again. This time we've got 2 players in close proximity to try and receive this. Swit, it's a bait and switch setup with Azidot playing anti-flash. And they look like they're just going to remain there for the entirety of the round. Let's see how this setup will play out, because at the moment, Prodigies, they're just doing the diligent clearing. It's more of a control. Azidot walks forward and actually finds the opener.
Yeah, immediately switches from anti-flash, gets himself into good placement. Puts himself in a good position to take that initial fight. Azidot will fall off the back of it, however. I think should now start to see the short exit coming through from Prodigies. Back at 4-4 at the minute as far as player standings are concerned. SBT still running that back lines. Been pretty savage with it the last couple of rounds, and he'll take Swift out. Gets a lot of info for his team, but does need to provide it in the end. Takes down Alisax, and it is left to 2v4 for this retake. That Molotov is well placed. Puts himself in a good position to hold off that CT push, but the long is where the danger comes from.
Looks like they're thinking about going for this as well.
Yeah.
No one kit on the board. I mean, Straxy doing that kill. Well, Zeus feels like he has to try and push, try and make something happen. Prodigies, that was a really nice round. Again, coming in. It's just these short executes. Even after losing the initial player, Straxy gets flashed in. Oh, okay, that's an incredible adjustment to find. And SBT wins the round single-handedly with Swit losing out the gunfight. Doesn't expect him to be so close to the wall with the AWP. Fluffs his lines, and as soon as you've got a player in towards long, it's all but said and done. Prodigies, well, they're now on the verge of, if they win this, not only do they put themselves up to map point, but the economy was completely shattered for the CT side. We could be looking at a map win on the very unlikeliest of circumstances.
Really good. I mean, like this come from nowhere, right? I mean, end of the first half, 11-4 is the scoreline. A lot of commentators, yourself included, consider that to be dangerous territory for the team with 11 rounds in their favour. and it comes to fruition. I mean, you're a honey badger at that point. I think is the right terminology that a lot of people tend to use. You're backed into a corner and you come out fighting, and it's exactly what Prodigy have done in the second half.
I look at this as well. They're playing so patient.
Yeah.
They don't need to do anything apart from their default. We've seen the same util set being deployed round after round, and it's working. Fragbox, they've lost a sense of confidence. They don't want to go for these pushes in for these flanks. It's an MP9 holding down pit. That is less than ideal. SBT gets flashed out. Position of Alsanax has now been completely given up, and the Prodigies, 45 seconds left. They can really take this anywhere, but I reckon it's going to be another one of these short plays.
Same. If SBT can secure the first pick here on long, oh, doesn't quite get the second, but if he gets that first pick, that gives a bit more information to work with from Prodigies. This is going B. This has shifted entirely. The bomb's already making its way towards tunnel. Azusa is going to be the first man to receive it. He's got an MP9, so he has to push up close. Oh, he's unlucky not to come off the better in that scenario, but Nolan's good for the frag on him. TVS with a quick adjustment towards mid. Takes down Swid and is left as a dot. A familiar face we've seen in 1vx scenarios from Fragbox in the last couple of rounds. But all for note at the minute. I think this is going to go all the way to map point, I should say.
I cannot believe how close that came to Fragbox winning the round, all off the back of Nolan nearly losing that fight to the MP9. Because if the bombs dropped there...
Yeah, that's it.
That's pretty much it. There was 12 seconds left on the clock, and there was no one really that close to retrieve it and then run to the bomb site. Azadot, I mean, he'll pick off a kill, a little bit of a confidence booster, but all things considered, needs to try and save onto this AK because it's going to be the most expensive thing that they can really bring forward into this round. Oh, not quite.
Shaky territory. Definitely shaky territory. But, I mean, I'm going to reiterate again. I think you've said it multiple times. I'm going to say it again multiple times as well. How are we in this position for Prodigies, right? I mean... 11-4 at the half, they just continue to push that momentum in the right direction as far as they're concerned, and Fragbox just suffer as a result. They've only picked up one round in the entire second half. If TDS continues like that into map 2, this is gonna be over before you know it. 15-12 is your scoreline into round 28. And it's still looking fairly, or more than favourable, in fact, I should say, for the Prodigies. To get things ramped up ready to take this mid control away from Fragbox.
TVS. I mean, what can you do against that, man? I mean, okay, Straxy. Zusa unlucky, finds the dink, but the headshot is cleaner on the AK-47. Azadot, well, it's a 1 versus 4 to keep his team alive, and Straxy, well, he will secure it. Fragbox on the CT side of their map pick will win 1 round only, and the Prodigies come back from an 11-4 deficit to close out the first map of this best of 3, 16-12.
1 round only on your map pick. Okay, we talk quite often, commentators do, about the mentality of players, right? After a best of 3, that first map, win or lose, your mentality shifts depending on how it's been won or how it's been lost. To take 1 round in that second half on your map pick, that's you know, the sound of that is deafening, essentially, as far as like your players are concerned. They're going to be thinking about that as they lead into the next map. Potentially could put them on the back foot before they even step foot into the server for map 2, realistically speaking. I think if you're Fragbox, they need to really dig deep as far as map 2 is concerned and come out on the front foot as best they possibly can. I think we got some highlights that we're going to throw your way for the moment while we wait ready for map 2 to flash up for ourselves. We'll be back with you very shortly. Soon.
That's right.
I tell you what, we'll talk. We'll talk. It's fine.
That's fine.
You can look at us. I mean, we don't need highlights. Like, I mean,
I have
V-Dog's got
highlights.
that. I was going to say V-Dog's got them already,
yeah.
boys. I mean, there's no need for highlights. Like, okay, map 2. You're going into map 2, Fragbox. You've just, I don't want to use the word decimated, but you've been completely Yeah, you have been decimated as far as CT side is concerned in map 1. What are you
Yeah.
going to be doing as far as map 2 is concerned, especially looking at the way that Prodigies have played Inferno over the entirety of the season?
It's a difficult one. It's a very tough situation to be in, especially kind of at this level of Counter-Strike as well, right? I mean, you lose 11-4. It's a dangerous scoreline for a reason. And we've spoken about that. So is every commentator. But look, let's reflect on it in just a little bit, because I think we actually do have these highlights now, and here we are. We've got them for you. We'll be back in just a moment. Welcome back in, everyone. You can see we got this map video just flying over. It's going to be the second map. Steve, it's the Prodigies map pick of Inferno. You've been talking about it a little bit. You've been saying how good they've been this season. Set the scene for us. What are we looking to expect here? And is this going to be 2-0?
I'm biting my tongue here, to be completely honest with you, B-Dog, because like
No, give me. Don't
you
sit on
and I
the fence.
both
Give
know.
me like a definitive.
Destruction is what I have in mind at the minute for Fragbox as far as Prodigy is concerned. I've seen them absolutely batter teams on this map. You've got to take into consideration the mindset from Fragbox coming in from map 1. They only won 1 round of their CT side. They're coming in on just like the worst timing ever into a map that Prodigies know inside and out. And even better still, Jerome is in the mix. So this is going to be one to watch for the entirety of if you're sitting at home. Because this is going to be either incredibly well played out and a very quick map. It's going to be a little bit hard fought maybe if Fragbox come in with the right mentality, but pistol round is where we get that defining moment of how this map is going to play through, right? And it's already starting on the good foot. B site, get themselves into ready positions, get those utilities placed ready to go. We see that Molly go through and immediate falling back from Fragbox to get themselves into defensive positions. But the Prodigies are all over it at the minute as they start laying some more damage out. Gotta take side control relatively early if you are on pistol round for T side. SBT getting that initial pick will start things off on the front foot. We do have a player drop there from Fragbox. So this swings in favour of Prodigies, of course, but for how long? As the retake starts to come through, F&K will pick up Zeusa. Straxy lays a little bit of additional damage there towards the CT control players coming through. He'll actually get 1 for his trouble, and TVS will finish off Zutrax. And that puts the first round on the board for the Prodigies. We're going to probably go into a tech pause immediately after that round, though.
Yeah, less than ideal for Fragbox to kind of lose out a player. It's a really unfortunate situation to be in, but damage has already been done, so I doubt the round will be replayed. Yeah, just nice work from Prodigies, just keeping it simple, right? Molotov off towards New Box, 1 flash to get themselves in, smoke for the CT cross. I was interested to see how Zeusa would play that. He was over towards Ruins, he had double flash kit, trying to stab his teammate. He bombed a flash above New Box so the player could swing out towards Dark. Didn't really amount to anything though, and in fact he only threw 1 flashbang. So immediately we are going to see that pause. Hopefully the player can get back in and we can just kick things off. Jerome, cool, calm and collected as always. And you're right, you did just mention it, but just to kind of bring a little bit more attention to it, he's swapped out for Nolan. When it is Inferno, Jerome will stake a claim to himself on the server. And for good reason as well.
Bit of background for you on that. I have actually got a bit of background for you because we had a really interesting conversation with him about it. So me and Jammer, I kind of picked his brain on it. We were like, you know, Inferno was a really favourable map for Prodigies, and he said to us, I am too old to be playing every single map and practicing every single map, so I would rather know one map inside out, and Inferno is my map, and that is why I play every Inferno that we put out on, and Nolan goes on the bench for that one map, and then we swing back and forward when we're doing alternatives. He's basically just said to us, he's literally given the same impression I give other people. I'm told to learn stuff new. I commentate because it's easier than playing for me. Realistically speaking, I probably could play still, but I'm just too old. My reactions aren't the same as where everyone else is. For him, it's like, I haven't got time, lads. I mean, I'm running a business here. I'm running, this really fantastic organization, and I'd rather just know one map inside out and just clear that one map inside and out. And that's exactly what you see him do, week in, week out throughout the ESEA season with these players. A well-placed jersey in the background as well. I don't know if you saw that. The Zyro jersey there, ready from last night.
Big Z
himself.
Yeah, I mean, it's cool. I mean, also the Prodigy's got a lot of reps on this map as well. I played it 10 times this season. We're at number 11 right now. So, Jerome, He's had plenty of practice on it. Used to be an AWPer, by the way, if you didn't know that.
Yes, he did.
So that's a little bit of a cool tidbit of information. But we're back into the swing of things. Thankfully, for Fragbox, their player has reconnected. A little bit of a boost coming in towards Boiler. Does he spot these players? Yeah, just about, but the bullets aren't quite lining up. But SBT... Oh, in fact, Jerome's grenade will do the damage. It's an early 2-player advantage. Now, Swit is going to be tested up towards top brackets. The only A defender remaining. Oh, well, he's going to be Molotov out of position as well. Nice and diligent from the Prodigies, and they're going to take round number 2.
It's these executes like that. I mean, you know, they've got an inkling that there's going to be a player maybe sitting close in position, ready to try and receive players coming in from mid. You know, they've lost their boiler room control, so there's only realistically 2 positions he's going to be in. He's either going to be in towards Archway, or he's going to be sat in that placement, ready to get information. Potentially pit as well, and they just use their utility to just section off those areas. You see the smoke going out towards Archway to give themselves a bit of cover there. You see the Molotov come in, pushes that player out of position. They immediately react off the back of it, and they're like, right, okay, done, dusted. Get bomb planted, get around on the board. They start building that momentum up. A good round from Prodigies, and they retain everything. SBT though, falling quite close to the mark there with 6 HP. That boost was naughty, to be completely truthful, inside of Boiler, and it could have played off very nicely for Fragbox if they were to pick up SBT and potentially one other player, but I think there may have been a little bit too early of a tap going through from them. It's such a weird angle though as well. I don't know if you obviously play a lot more than I do, and I don't know if you've ever done that boost position before.
Yeah.
There only seems to be a couple of pixels worth of difference between you've seen a player or not seen a player in that position.
Well, that's almost why the double grenades have come into Boiler, just for that specific boost as well. I think Jax made it quite popular over on Inferno. And yeah, I mean, it's cool. It works out. It's... The majority of the time, it's always good for a kill or two, especially it's just a little bit of an unexpected thing to throw in a round such as this. Fragbox, they just keep the 2 saved pistols. They just want to make sure they've caught the armor, and well, Azadot gets completely caught off guard. The other armored player in this round nearly finishes off SBT, but not quite. The rest of the USPs, they are going to come and chime in. They're going to try and support their friend, but it's very difficult to try and get away back in. Maybe Drutak's could accomplish something on top of this boost. SBT finds one through the smoke and even jump spots the boost as well. That's, well, pretty much disgusting. 5 versus 2. Formality, really, for the Prodigies. It's going to be this gun round coming into round number 4 that's going to make or break this situation. We'll kind of get a little bit more of an eye test into how these 2 teams are going to match up.
Absolutely. B-side, the Mac-10's paradise as far as this map's concerned. Let's jump into a comms round, B-Dog. I want to hear what the team sounding like as far as they head into round 4.
But you can use like Molly.
Okay, I'll go down
whatever.
Mexico again. I'll go down Mexico again.
Yeah, and we do like pop-ups after.
Yeah,
TVS, you will do the
banana
flashes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
just
gonna
do
flash
like a
one
molly
at the
banana.
start.
Yeah.
Do a molly banana, and if they try to use molotovs, just stop one of their molotov and go back.
Yeah.
You need to take bomb after.
Yeah.
No one picking mid.
One molly.
He
Okay, molly
molotov.
boiler. I'm delayed, guys.
Wait, can
What,
you
they're
drop
taking
one
banana,
more
banana.
flash, Tempos?
What you say?
Can you drop me one more flash?
On your back.
They have
Okay.
full banana. Full banana.
Okay. Taking boiler.
Yeah,
Taking
taking
by
gas.
Okay, wait a little bit.
Taking gas.
Nothing.
Okay, they smoked us
Stay
mid, they
there.
smoked
So-
us mid.
Nothing
I
else.
smoked
I'm
top
going
car.
close out.
Okay, I'm ready
Gonna
with flashes.
come.
I can flash for smoke.
Right,
Yeah,
tell
you
you.
can do it without me when you're
Flash,
close.
flash.
Flashing. Flashing one
One
more.
pit, and balcony.
balcony. Still balcony.
We close mid one.
Pit still in pit.
I'm coming up to you.
Ah, 2 moto.
Who?
Yeah, default like Tariq and moto and pit.
What the fuck, man?
Let's try, boys.
What the fuck, man?
They were ready for that.
Yeah, they were waiting.
Yeah.
You know, how do you break that run down?
I'll give it a go if you want. Basically,
Give it a crack. Give it a crack.
you've got two Mac 10s. You want to go for something a little bit faster. You want to try and catch Fragbox off in the first rifle. You want to make them unsettled. So you can either go quick B or you can go in towards the apartments with TVS. Well, in this round, oh, it gets fully blind. Lucky for Swit to be alive. However, in that one, yeah. I mean, you can either go one or two ways with that fast play. But Fragbox, they took control of Banana. So it's kind of telegraphed that the Prodigies with the Mac 10s are going to try and work their way out towards balcony. Fortunately enough for the CTs, they've already got a very good setup between pit and balcony. So the crossfire is quite shallow and it's also very strong. So unfortunately, it doesn't quite work out, but it's a little bit of a bonus for the Prodigies in this one, though. You've got 3 players starting towards Banana. The guns are back out. TVS is on the AWP, not an SMG. But look at Swit going hunting more towards this position. Fires off a shot. Prodigies, are they going to try and fight into Banana? Look at Azadot, though. Trying to get ever so closer. So much utility has been used on this side of the map. And, oh, SBT nearly caught out Zeusa.
Almost caught out Zeus there. I mean, 19 HP left on the player himself. SPT does fall out of favour on that frag, but they've kind of played to the advantage of their position. I mean, they've put quite a lot of utility up towards B side. Do you have the rotation player coming through from Swit with York? He's going to be in close proximity to at least 2 of the players in a moment here if he swings from Library. Gain more info towards Archway. That smoke will block him off position, however. That allows FNK a little bit more room to manoeuvre as far as breathing room is concerned. Depends if he can connect on those frags. He's not able to get the first. Swit whiffs his first 2 shots, but manages to connect in the end, and TVS is sent running on that one.
Yeah, that was well played from Fragbox. They readjust perfectly. We're talking about on Dust 2, we said low HP, going for the headshot angles. That's exactly what happens over towards Mini Pit. The Mini Pit player is low HP, but he's just playing a pixel gap of an angle, and it's a nice little recovery. 2 rounds back-to-back, consecutive gun rounds, 1 for the CT side. TVS, last player alive with the AWP. That's going to be the only thing brought forward. Just a reminder as well as we get into this pause that the giveaway is still ongoing. And I was going to read out the question.
It's what is the Razer Leviathan V2X?
Perfect. So if you write that in the chat when the entire series is over, a lucky individual will be selected and they will win a choice of mouse and also some gloves to throw in as well. And they're pretty nice gloves. Steve, little reminder, buy some gloves, mate.
Exactly, I need to buy gloves. And the gloves in question, by the way, are Desert Shamag Battle Scarred. So get yourself on that. Hand wraps they are, of course. That particular type of skin. Yeah, I do need to get gloves. My issue, though, as well, while we're in a pause, we might as well have a little bit of a chin wag back and forward.
Go on.
My issue is, a lot of people I watch who play CS, players as well as just like normal streamers and YouTubers and the like, all their skins have a matching color theme. Mine do not. And that kind of makes me want to get a matching color theme, but I also don't want to spend the money on getting a matching color theme because I know that'll be expensive.
No, what you should do is you should just, and what you have done probably, is, people can match the theme. Oh, that's nice. I've got blue knife and blue gloves. It costs me about my arm and my leg. Or you could just play with the skins that you enjoy playing with and you like the look of. You don't need a theme. But
if I told you the skin I like, though, the knife skin I like, because Jammer slates me on every opportunity he gets, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
I used to have. I don't have them anymore because I did sell them in the end. But I had a set of Shadow Dagger Rust coats because I really liked the Rust coat skins. I don't know what possessed me to buy Shadow Daggers, to be completely honest with you, but they actually looked really nice when I first got them, and I was like, this type's pretty good. Like, it's a good setup. But yeah, Jammer just slates me every opportunity he gets. As soon as knife conversation comes out, which usually happens when we do knife watch, which is at the very beginning of rounds when we're watching knife rounds, he'll normally fetch it up every single time. So if you ever catch a broadcast with me and him, and there's a knife round, just pay attention to how many times you'll slander my choice of knife skins.
I'll mute him. I don't want to hear any slander. I got your back. Don't worry about it. And well, speaking
Appreciate
of being
it.
back, we're in round number 6. Straight in, underway. We said TVS had the AWP. Needs to try and make that one sing because it's the big high-ticket item for the Prodigies. They've only got pistols to try and accommodate this sniper rifle. Look at Zeus getting so aggressive in towards the balcony. FNK spots him out, but the kill falls favour to the AK-47. Early man up, as expected for Fragbox. Should be looking to tie up the scoreline here, unless we see a TVS masterclass.
Quick fire with the AWP, but he has missed the mark a few times tonight, right? I'm not going to hide away from that comment. I think it does need to be said. But when he needs it, or when you need him the most, he does tend to be the player that you can depend on the most with the AWP. Obviously, we saw FNK pick it up quite a few times inside of Dust 2, but as I continue to waffle on, the ramp up starts to happen towards the B side. Asdot will be in position to pick up 2. And that's all she wrote as far as Prodigies is concerned into round 7 on that big old B push. Kind of threw it at them, essentially, right? Like, there's not much you can realistically do. Okay, you can retain the AWP again, but as soon as TVS falls there, it's already written out, right?
I've been muted. It's one of those ones where you've already committed to the execute, so you kind of just have to throw yourself in. As a result of that, though, because he saved into the previous as well, he's just armed with a deagle. The rest of his teammates have got rifles, so the buy's a little bit better for this T side. And FNK looking to swing around the corner, nearly catches out Zusa. Really important that that player stays alive, because it means the double app setup can just fall back a little bit. Although, what I'm looking at right now is SBT. If he catches off this B rotate, it can throw everything into disarray for Fragbox. That's exactly what happens. And you can see the bomb. It's making its way back all the way towards T ramp. Over a minute left on the clock. This can really just go anywhere. It looks like it's going to be a B split, though, because there's 2 Prodigy players already in the CT spawn.
You see the panic as well from Malsnax. He's kind of But you mentioned he hasn't got an AWP. Does need him, mate. That 1D deadly from mid there. Picks up a player of his own there, TVS. Good connection from him. It's good information gained, though, from the AWP from Swip, right? I mean, he now knows there's 3 players pushing down and bearing down towards mid control to get towards B. That puts Malsnax on check, at least anyway, as far as holding off on this side. He'll pick up the first against SBT, but is he going to know there's a player close? He doesn't. FNK finishes him off, and Fragbox, no option here, mate, other than to sit back, relax, wait for the round to finish, and take that AK and AWP into the next one.
That was a really just nice change of pace on the Prodigies. They just run up towards top brackets. They initially catch Zusa off guard in towards short and just try and take the space up towards long. It's exactly what happens. The rotation gets caught off in transition, and suddenly all things just kind of fall apart. So with the rifles coming back out, the Prodigies will take another round on the board. And that's off the back of Fragbox winning a couple of consecutive rounds in a row. So they will be able to reinvest back in. They just need to make sure they hold on to this AWP and AK.
I hate when X-Ray does that, and I'm looking at it going like, see the other side of that wall? See this side of it? Like, my eyes. I need better glasses, mate. That's what it is. I think what we also need to do is perhaps check in with the Prodigies, listen to this comms round, and see what the atmosphere is like in the chat.
Me to do the body move still.
I
But
follow
try
you.
to delay a little bit, not instant throw the nades, okay? I will tell you when to do the smoke first. Okay, do the smoke now.
I do. You're taking banana, taking
I'm
banana.
ready.
Meeting car.
The
meeting
multi
car.
pumps.
I'm holding now. Can you molly
Come
short?
here, wait, you guys.
Yes, and I flash and we go out.
I flashed F.
The nade
Come here
depuffs.
with you guys mid.
Yeah,
go.
full banana,
T-shirt,
guys.
T-shirt.
He's balcony.
Okay, chill. I will smoke mid to B. Careful long.
He's still balcony, man. Guys, just go against long and finish B. Split mid B
I'm only short.
together.
Yeah.
I'm flashing bounce. Him.
Oh.
Okay.
Arch,
You-
arch, arch.
Wait, double pick.
Yeah.
Ready?
1, 2,
Three.
Goes banana.
actually.
Yeah, just don't be open to short.
Don't see him.
Can you smoke? Arch? Smoke arch.
Yeah, smoking.
Take the info banana.
Let it hit.
Nice.
Let's go
Oh,
by
yeah,
B, guys.
don't smoke.
He's alone on
Only
B.
one B.
Yeah,
Let's
they're
hit
going B.
car.
Just
Yeah, I'm
revenge
going
me.
through arch
Yeah,
as well.
some car,
Watch out
some
library.
Yeah,
I can boost
I
you
leave
with.
Flag.
No, just wait, that's the only thing he's gonna hold.
He's probably close.
We are getting close.
They can
CT.
push behind the mid though.
Yeah,
Watch
we're
out
ready
behind
to
mid,
go
yeah.
on B.
I'm gonna
we're
smoke
just
behind
waiting,
us.
roll.
Yeah, I'm gonna smoke behind us.
Coming close.
Smoking there.
On site.
Dead.
Nice.
Go.
Good.
You can go.
Check everything.
I
though,
have
but
CT, I have
Plant
CT.
for
clear.
runes. Plant for runes, guys.
DT one dead.
Pushing
Nice.
runes.
Watch out, banana.
That's one
A
more
player
dead.
left. A player left.
One flash banana. Deep.
Yes, flash please.
Flashing behind you there.
Nice.
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 Play.
I got
Good
goal.
fucking flash, Traxy.
Thank you.
Totally
Yeah,
blind.
boss, we too fucking good on long ball.
Oh,
But
everything about that round. I know. Like, we both want to talk at once. Like, that was so good. I mean, look, this crosshair placement, immaculate. Secondly, it's just FNK's got a really good read of the game. He goes, look, one guy is B. We've already caught out the rotation before. We're going to catch it out again. And the fact that SBT even gets smoked off in towards Arch, so it makes the guy jiggle back in towards the play. Oh, it's just all perfect. So there's Straxy, the cherry on top with that flashbang in towards Banana. That is just really good fundamental CS from the Prodigies.
Oh, mate, I 100% echo exactly what you're saying. TVS there as well for me is the highlight moment. That flash is unbelievable on Banana. I won't take it away from it, but TVS immediately goes, right, okay, I'm not going to bother coming back to site. There's no point. Let me hold this position down here at CT spawn. Let me try and lock in at least one, maybe go for a second. Then I'll rotate back into you guys if we don't know where that third's coming from. Gets the first kill, sticks around for the second. He's cool, calm, collected with it. You know, doesn't need to really call for any kind of support. He's just ready to receive those CT players pushing through into him. Speaking of pushing through, Azadot will try and fail at that push through there. Through smoke and flash into FNK's waiting crosshairs. Again, they lose this player initially from Fragbox, and there's that immediate rotation comes in from them. We have Zusa switching back up into the backside of site, but Prodigies are stacked up, ready to get moving towards B side. At some point, it's just a matter of waiting for that execute time with the clock down.
They're letting the orb surge here. No, never mind. They're going to just swing onto this. FNK and SBT. Well, there goes the entirety of the defense. That's another round on the board instantly. Fragbox, they can't retake this. They've got no money. You can already see the Prodigies just hunting them down. They are aware of the economic turmoil that the CTs are currently in, and SBT is just leading the charge. You've got to be careful if you're Swit, because it looks like the AWP could be caught off guard. Drutax, he's got more of the right idea, already running back down in towards T ramp, but yeah, CTs need to be careful here. They can't afford to drop this AWP.
It's not just me that can hear FNK, right? Like, I can't actually hear him, of course, but I can hear him in my head going like, hunt them, kill them, come on. Get the runs out, you know, get those guns out of play ready for next round. We don't want to keep or retain anything as best we can. The AWP is dropped. D-Dog, they've just got a FAMAS to bring into the next round.
Ooh, that makes
You
it...
lose 2 AKs for it, but I mean,
That's fine,
realistically speaking, that's good. It's good economy balance, right? You take the AWP out of the fight. That's that one-hit trick pony taken out of that next round. You've got more room to maneuver, more momentum to gain based on where you're looking to push, which seems to be favouring more towards B side at the minute. Gives them more angles to work off.
Yeah, I mean... Ain't too bad. USPs and a FAMAS. Good grenades. SBT has been brought down low. We're going to see the boiler boost again. They come into play. For Prodigies, it's a lot more direct. One-way traffic up towards Banana. It's going to be a quicker execute. Housenex and Azidot have got a lot to contend with, especially because they're just operating with the USPs. It's going to be very difficult for them to try and navigate something here. You can see Azidot is just trying to get a little bit closer, actually thinking better of it. They're going to try and just maybe tuck into a position together, bait and switch. It's a little bit uncomfortable.
Not want to be in their position right now,
Oh,
especially
no.
with that Molly. Drum's had enough, mate. He wants to get as many as he can. He'll even go for an extra one of his own teammates there. This is dodgy, and I say dodgy, 2 HP. Doesn't really matter. Gets thrown out of the way. Shaky there, but at the same time, if it works in principle, right?
Yes, but at the same time, that round's really expensive compared to what it really should be, right? I mean,
Yeah.
it's nothing invested in for the CT side, and they get 3 kills. Yeah, one of them is Jerome at the end of the day, but it doesn't matter. They all count, and it's a repurchase nevertheless. But, I mean, you take a look at the economy anyway. I mean, it's fine. TVS is up to 5 digits. 4 players starting in Banana for Fragbox, dumping so much utility to try and take the advantage. But look, they haven't even pushed anywhere. It's just Alcenax on this boost, so it comes at a very heavy cost. Because the Prodigies, they can just retake back in. SBT trying to gather some more ground out towards long. It's been a weak point for Fragbox. It's going to continue to do so as well. That's the opener.
Just as good for that one against SBT. It's kind of a fool me once conversation to start off at that point. SBT's been playing that backline position quite a lot when they've made these momentum pushes towards A site. You know, getting in ready for the rotation plays to come through. So he does get caught off guard this time round, but there's still room to maneuver. Oh, FNK.
That's last bullet headshot.
Yeah. Styling. Absolutely styling. True tax, the man in contention on A side, but not for long as Straxy will finish him off, and Alcenax in a familiar position, left running for the hills once again to keep that M4. And okay, I'm going to bring the conversation point up, the elephant in the room, sustainability. I mean, Fragbox can't continue to lose rounds like this and just sit back on max loss bonus, right? Like, they have to make a move at some point to put Prodigies on the back foot. If they continue to allow Prodigies all this space they've been awarded, then Prodigies are going to be more than happy to take it from them, right, B-Dog?
Yeah, I think we were talking in the first map of the series. We were talking about how Fragbox was setting the tempo. Their T-side looked really good. It's pretty much a very familiar setting to what we're seeing here on Inferno, right? It's Prodigies, they're just going through the motions right now. They're not changing up anything. They're just playing their own game, and it's just completely working. I mean, that last bullet is just quite frankly quite rude, to be honest. But, oh, careful. Not to fall off a chair.
Calms. Yeah, you definitely want to fall off your chair mid-game. That'd be a bad time, that would. Bad times indeed. Or have to buy a new chair after the game. I mean, that would be even worse times in this economy. 400 quid down the drain. Depending on what chair you go for, obviously. Oh, boost on mid. Okay.
How was like no one died? What?
SBT walks away with like a little bit of HP taken off him, but not a single person is dead in that scenario, and I have no idea how anyone survived that scenario. Boost there from FNK on the reverse side. Oh, Asdot nearly catches Straxy off guard, but SBT is good for a reposition kill onto him. Drone playing anchor. This is kind of nice to see from him. Just waiting for those rotations to come through if they are going to come through towards mid. There's only one player left up roll from Fragbox towards the A side, that being Swit, and usually found with an open hand, but this time has a deagle ready to take on players. Rutax pushing close with his. Picks up one against Straxy. Actually go for a second against SBT. FNK is good for the frag onto him, and Jerome gets his final player towards A. That should be the call now to rotate, and it is already. You can see the CT's trying to adapt off the fly, but it's too little too late at this point. They need to clear mid as quick as possible, and they will do. You should see bomb control going in favor of the Prodigies. It's just a matter of getting post-plant, but the way the CTs are pushing up on the backside of them, they're not going to have a lot of opportunities to do so. FNK finishes one and the second straight off the back of it. That's number 10 on the board. Sorry, number 9 on the board for Prodigies, I should say.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, that was very close as well. You see the clock's running down. Really nice shots here from Zrutax. Prodigies, it looks like they are in cruise control. Let's listen in, see what they're saying.
Come with us. If I kill B player, you guys walk and search B instantly together, okay? And
Okay.
I'll do entry flash for you.
I'm gonna need fall then later.
Flash.
I'm double needed.
Flash corner.
Let's look back.
Démolo boya, démolo apps.
I'll mollo car again. I don't block. I'm only car.
Okay, let's pop B.
Yeah, send me in first, okay?
I will throw one smoke arch and we can pop B out.
He
They
retake.
flash, they retake flash.
Wait, I'm holding core.
I'm going back. I don't have apps anymore.
What you said, pop.
He did retake
Yeah,
flash
pop
on
B.
banana.
I'm on T.
Like I'm only
Give me your
sandbags.
molly and flash extract so you don't die with the nades. They
Flash
flash.
out, I'm blind. Peeking.
Dead.
Sorry.
So,
One more. Fall in. Fall in and wall.
Wall close.
What?
Nice job, boys.
Awkward scenario there again. A familiar face on the team damage there as well. Also, I think Jerome was probably chomping at the bit watching that first map, right? And he's just eager to get kills into this one. Was it actually? Sorry, it was. No, it was Jerome that got the team kill. I thought it was SPT for a second there. I thought I was bad mouthing the wrong player, but nonetheless, 4th on the board for Fragbox. And into 14. Sorry, B-Dog. I took control completely in the round before that comms, and I'm interested to see what your thoughts are leading into this one.
Ooh, well,
Okay.
change of pace in towards top B. Straxy, how have you won that kill onto Azidot? That is completely absurd. That's the round done. Like, so Prodigies, they're laughing about the fact that they lost the previous because you got even more team damage coming in. Good seeing it in camp. Well, you got to be careful though, because the TVS could be caught out with the bomb. In fact, he will be. Oh, this is a little bit scary. Oh, okay, no, never mind. Just a collateral. That's casual for TVS. Yeah, he does that on a regular basis. Oh my goodness me. I really like the reaction from Fragbox. I mean, what can you do against that?
You can't. There's nothing you can do against it. What's even more nice to watch and nice to see is the reactions from players, right? And you can see that that round's a bit of, you know, to and fro in here and there. TVS gets that double kill and everyone's smiling. Everyone's happy. You heard it in the comms round. They're all laughing and joking about it as well. Also, they just play this map like they would normally do. They're having fun with it and they're just trying new things out and trying some of the same old that we're used to. Straxy on another planet at the minute as far as damage is concerned on that B push. I mean, this is like round after round he's catching players off guard, B-Dog.
Good reaction though, look at this. Pushing in towards second middle. Jerome's holding for this eventuality though.
Yeah.
Oh, but he's moved off the position. FNK gets caught out. Jerome needs to try and trade this player potentially. But I tell you what, all that's going to do is really incentivize the Prodigies to push more in towards this B bomb site. Only one player here. Alcenax left alone on an island. And the Prodigies, oh, they're contact walking into this. Here comes the smokes. It's really close. Alcenax waiting. Can't get flashed through. But Jerome does fall in the meantime. So the quick flank is on. Spam through the smoke doesn't do too much damage. But TVS, Mr. Consistent, holding for Zeus's push. Even Molotovs of a second player. I think you might have heard or seen the bullets. It is a 3 versus 3. Last round of the half, this will be attempted. Can Fragbox make it 5?
Dangerous territory. TVS gets the first peek, but Swit is just a little bit quicker on the trigger. It's a 1v3, now a none v3, and they do make it 10-5. I wouldn't have expected it, to be completely honest with you, the way that that first half was being played out by Prodigies, but 5 rounds on the board for Fragbox. I think maybe tightening up a little bit of that team damage into the second half, and we should see them sail home to victory from the Prodigies' perspective. But a good first half nonetheless from the team.
Look, you gotta consider one thing, and that is we've already seen a comeback in this map already. So, well, in this series rather. So, I mean, anything is possible. 10-5. It looked pretty good and pretty dominant from the Prodigies. It was just a couple of individual mistakes. But look, we're gonna throw this for a very short ad break. We'll just see you in a few seconds.
I'll be loading up, they wanna package this. Pray for peace, pacifist, I'm never old enough to give a promise.
Welcome back. We're getting ready for the second half of map 2. I've had plenty of reminders today for gloves. B-Dog, reminder, look at a new mouse. There you go. I'm going to start doing it for you, mate. You've been doing it for me as far as gloves are concerned, because every time we see that advert, you're like, I might have to try a new mouse, mate, to be completely honest with you.
I just feel like everyone has just swapped over to the Death Adder. And the fact that Zywoo is just popping off, I mean, I'm no Zywoo, but it just makes me a little bit.
I don't.
It makes me a little bit excited, right? Like I'm just like, oh, you know, maybe it's my mouse, but we'll have to wait and see. Let's. We're tangenting. We're good at doing that.
We are.
Let's focus on the present. Let's focus on the here and now. What's going on? Well, Prodigies, they've already taken one map off of Fragbox, a commanding lead into this first half as well. It's 10-5 as they now swap over to that CT side. Inferno, it is kind of 50-50, so there is still room, a little bit of wiggle room for Fragbox to try and work their way in, but the pressure is definitely on them, and this pistol is also crucial for this T side.
It is indeed, and I'm wondering if we're going to see familiar face on site, and we don't actually. We see a 4-man stack up towards B site. This is not normal from Prodigy as far as their CT side concerned on Inferno. But at the same time, it can pay off in dividends. If FNK can hold that trigger discipline, he does. He gets 4 for his good efforts there. And Zeus is not long for this world. You'll pick up 2. Look at the smile on that man's face. He knows he's just absolutely battered a team in CT side, right?
I'm sorry, that's unforgivable. Like, how do you not clear that corner if you're Fragbox? Oh, come on. It's a little bit unfortunate, but I mean, it's one of these. It's happened now twice on maps. FNK has put himself in a corner. It has not been cleared, and he gets a multi-kill off the back of it. It was 3 on Dust 2, and suddenly it's 4. Fragbox can't even put the bomb down. It makes their lives a lot more difficult. 4 spy into this one. It's going to be a quick one up towards top brackets.
SPT just takes Swift and Lansax out of the fight immediately. Asdot is able to get something back for it. Straxy's quick on the peek into that mess of T players pushing his position, and he even picks up a frag inside of Apps itself. Bomb is still in a good position to get planted, and it will in the end. FNK drops Azusa, who's stacked up in pit, but that's all she wrote. TVS and Jerome pick up the final frags and put that extra round on the board, taking themselves just that one step closer and closer and closer to map and series point.
Pretty simple stuff. You've got the 4 spy with the Tech 9, so it looks like it's going to be another partial investment coming in for Fragbox, Prodigies. They know what they need to do. It's already 12-5. This one, it should be 13. Let's take a look at this replay though. SBT doing good work. Straxy just steps in towards the apartments, makes some money with the MP9. It's going to be a force, in fact, because they did plant the bomb. So Fragbox, they've got a couple of AKs to work with, but this buy, it feels, oh, well, forced is the operative word.
Yeah, I would expect maybe, 2 Galeals and a couple of, a bit more utility usage coming from Fragbox rather than 2 AKs bought out of it. But, I mean, unless they've got like a pre-planned strat that they have for this sort of scenario in their playbook. But yeah, I mean, I would have expected maybe 2 Galeals and, utility to be pushed into this. An SMG on top of that Mac 10. It looks a bit more opportune for Fragbox if they go for that kind of play-up scenario. But it's all for punishment as far as Prodigy is concerned. You'll see SPT push down towards mid. He does get taken out of the fight immediately by Swit. And Asdot is good for the second down onto TVS. But FNK clears house as far as mid control is concerned. And he's looking for more with Jerome there to help him out.
This one's still on. Yeah, this one is still on, right? You got players that are just half HP. That's just low across the entirety of the server. Great flashbang. No swing. In fact, Jerome will capitalise upon that. 2 versus 1. Gets a little bit difficult for Zeusa, but aforementioned, these players are quite low. He's playing a pixel angle towards the Haycart bomb. Halfway ticks 1 kit on FNK. Flashbang out. Jerome trying to creep in. It's going to be a bait and switch. Jerome actually even just deals with Zeusa as well. Plenty of time for the full 10 seconds to come in. You see how much it means, so let's go, Jerome. Lovely work.
I love the atmosphere that this team have. Like this, It's one of my favorite, literally one of my favorite things to like listen in on comms round. You know, to see their reactions on the player cams. Like I've covered quite a lot of teams. I think you probably more so than I have, but I've never seen a team play like this where they just they absolutely love it. Let's listen into the comms round. I want to hear that love continue.
Walking.
You want to do with the lineup?
We
Yeah,
can do the
line up,
same,
line up.
Jerome.
I'm Molly second.
You Moro?
Molly,
I'm Moro.
you Molly, you Molly.
Okay, okay, okay.
We can triple need.
Okay, you
It's okay,
ready?
it's okay.
Distinguish.
They did fast take.
3, 2, 1.
I already Molly
You
close.
block me.
We are stuck one banana. We are stuck banana.
Nice.
Okay.
There's nothing close, maybe wood.
I leave you on long.
He could go for
I'm dead, I'm dead, I'm dead.
I
Come
will
on,
Go
two
B,
more there.
go B, go B.
I will go with you as well. Actually, you have smack, you're okay?
Nice.
Okay, another one close.
Oh.
With this, he's smoking city.
Can you push me?
I'm going ruin.
Okay,
Oh
no.
yeah, I can go.
2v2.
I don't expect us to be close.
Lurker alive, as you thought is lurk.
I don't see anything. You can go runs.
Yeah.
Are they in?
No, they're
No,
not in.
No,
They do fakes, so be careful.
Just play from library, Straxi.
Yeah.
Maybe it's in pool, but I don't think.
don't see anything.
Could be
Eh,
CT on the most
You will flash
insane
pick
timing.
me on the.
Ah, fuck it.
they
Just,
might.
just hold short, Straxi. Don't do it.
Is it
Yeah,
this one?
What I
He should know about me. He smoked off deep CT.
Inside.
Stepping up side.
Again, as he dot.
What's that?
Oh.
Last one here as well.
what's here?
It's triple.
Triple.
I'm playing flank.
First.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah, like I said.
Yeah,
Nice,
it's okay,
boys.
it's
Let's
okay,
go.
but you need to
Guys,
take the
maybe.
risk. Like if you just do left, right, they can have timing short, they can have timing long everywhere. No,
I need drop,
just
please.
take.
Well, B-Dog. Again, final nails in the coffin starts to swing into memory for me, at least anyway. Prodigies hammer another one home, and yes, it's down to 2 players left alive, but it's just all pretty good gameplay going forward from Prodigies.
Could be CT on the most insane timing.
Oh my god! I genuinely, you just brought that memory back immediately. I was like, how is he play? How is he calling this? You know what I mean? Like we're both sitting here watching it and going like, yeah, okay, that's how is he knowing this? How does he get this information? But he's just got that good mindset, right? That good gameplay mindset, and they're actually calling specific players out as well. As he likes to play the lurk. He likes to play the rotation play. They're all pinpointing what these players are doing as they're doing it, more or less.
Yeah. Azidot the Lurker, Azidot last alive. It's always that guy, is what we've heard in the comms. And well, we have seen that throughout the series so far. It's another purchase in for Fragbox. You take a look at it, it's really not great, all things considered. Not too much utility at all. Orb shot rings out, echoes through Inferno, but it doesn't strike this time. Azidot is in towards Boiler. Molotov will actually remove the smoke coming into this. It's, yeah, not great. Oh, that utility. It's just even more damage. That's going to force Fragbox back. They don't want to fight Banana just now. They want to just wait just for a couple of seconds. Ensure that no further grenades come in to halt their progress. Juggling the utility. They're going to try their best to get in towards B, but they need to beat FNK and Jerome.
As far as must-win rounds go, this is like the must-win round from Fragbox. They've got no combi left after this one, especially if they start losing players like they are. FNK and Jerome just working their magic as far as B-site control is concerned. And they're just winning it. They win in every fight there. I mean, this is as back foot as you like it as far as the T-side's concerned.
I mean, you ask for a B-site hold, and you get all 5 kills coming in from the B players. That is absolutely perfect. Even the spam to kick things off as well. Fragbox, that must really hurt. And Prodigy is trying to make sure that there's going to be no comeback this time in the opposite favour. 15-5. 5 kills away, potentially, from winning another game in the ESEA Intermediate Playoffs. However, those are some really good Deagle kills coming in. TVS has got aggressive. Now needs to be careful, but he's just going to hang around. Will escape. Still the player advantage for Fragbox, despite the weaponry not being the best. SBT and actually eliminate Drutax and just continues the spray. Okay, this one is looking a little bit more doable now. Suddenly, Swit is in a 1 versus 2 to keep Fragbox in the competition.
Has to get bomb down, has to get close plant position in that flashbang's good, but it's not good enough. TVS seals the deal, and Prodigies continue to not drop a map in their best of threes.
And considering the circumstances we found ourselves in on Dust 2, we thought that it was going to be that third map. We thought Mirage was going to be waiting in the wings, but no. So impressed with the mental fortitude of this team, and they're just so happy that they've made it. You can see the smiles on their faces and the reactions. You can see Jerome punching the air, doing a little dance after every single just clutch win. It's just so good.
Yeah, it's perfect. It's great. I love, genuinely, I keep saying this every single time we watch this team. I love watching them for the reactions that we get there from player cams, right? You know, I love being able to see them just react in the best possible way, and then all of a sudden you see it kind of like, it's like a ripple, right? You know, one player starts reacting that way, and then all of a sudden the rest of them start reacting that way. We saw it with the way that their retakes came in. We saw it with the way that their holds came in on B site. Jerome and FNK just basically decimating NET players that come in their direction. It's exactly what you want to see from a side like this. And genuinely, we spoke to Jerome the match before last, and he was like, you know, any one of these players could jump into an academy team for a tier 1 team, no issue at all. And you see that again reflective in this. But we need to get down to some business here, B-Dog.
Yeah.
We need to talk about giveaways, because someone has won the giveaway. I'll let you run away with it, mate, and we'll continue to talk in a few more months.
Yeah, Sick Rocker, or Kick Rocker, you have won the giveaway, so congratulations to you, good sir. If you just make sure that someone will be in touch with you. You have won your choice of one of the 2 mouses. I don't know. and you also get some gloves. It looks like in a few moments we'll be having an interview as well. One of the players from the Prodigies. It will be Straxy, and we're gonna jump into it right now. Straxy, first of all, congratulations. Secondly, how are you feeling after that win?
I feel great. Especially, you know, Dust 2, we started really slow and managed to come back somehow. It was crazy, actually.
Yeah, literally exactly what we were saying. Like, the way that the first half of Dust 2 played out, it felt like we were going to go all the way to 3 maps, to be completely truthful. And then all of a sudden, you switch sides, that momentum starts to build up, and then you're just on the front foot every single round possible. It was really good to see you kind of like make those slight adjustments here and there, dominate on the short plays as well, getting yourself in towards a site. It just kind of all fell into place more or less.
Yeah, the first half we were like sleeping. We weren't listening to the calls. We weren't reacting fast enough. It was horrendous. But then the second half, I don't know what happened, but we just became messiahs of CS or something. Everything clicked.
Yeah, it's really interesting, and obviously you've made that comeback, and that's going to put the opponents on the back foot heading into your map pick. It's one of your specialties. It's Inferno. We could hear you guys just having a lot more fun on the comms, because obviously we get to listen in now and then. And there's some team damage going on. Jerome, he just wants some kills as well. Doesn't matter who's getting them. Just speaking and just kind of reflecting on the mood and the atmosphere you guys have as a team. It honestly, week on week, it just feels more like a collective unit. What's it like just being in this environment?
I mean, in the beginning, it was like quite the opposite. I remember like it was literally the polar opposite of what you're hearing right now. In the beginning, it was really rough, but then we started playing more and more, and then we got really good chemistry. I mean, we're really good friends outside of the team, so I think that's a part of the reason why.
Do you think that maybe, obviously your first couple of matches, maybe that might be the nerves of playing as a new stack together, and then all of a sudden, like you said, you start to get friendly outside of server, you start to get friendly outside of team play, playing more together in scrims, playing more together in just like general matchmaking, relaxing together, and you kind of build that relationship up. Do you think that's probably the root cause of the initial sort of startup for yourselves, and now where you are at this point?
Yeah, I mean, if you want to be a good team in CS, I feel like you need to be friends outside of the game. It's really hard to be a good team without like knowing each other inside and out pretty much. I mean, yeah, I mean, I feel like CS is a chemistry and like mental game more than anything. It's like 60% mental and 40% actual CS. Because if you have a better mental than the other team, like for example in the comebacks and stuff like we have, then yeah, that will win you the games.
Yeah, I mean, look, sky's the limit for you guys, really. I mean, it's your first season together as a 5. You're performing really well. Yet to drop a map in these playoffs, ESEA Intermediate. I mean, I want to just give you kind of your opportunity, just as a final closure and thought. Like, is there anything you want to say to anyone at home? Maybe some fans you've now made along the way in this Prodigy project, and yeah, just the floor is yours for about, well, as long as you want it, really.
Well, the number one person I would like to thank is probably Sebos SBT, because he's really formed me as a player or helped me like learn and etc. And also a really great friend outside of the game. So yeah.
Perfect,
brilliant.
mate. Well, thank you very much for jumping in with us. Do appreciate it. We'll let you get back to the team and enjoy your sweet, sweet victory this evening. I think you're back next up in 3 days' time, if I'm not mistaken. I think you might have another one.
Yeah, Thursday.
So we'll be checking in again Thursday this week. Yeah. So we'll be checking in on Thursday to see all the action once again. But thank you once again for joining me and B-Dog for a chat, mate. You have a good evening.
Thank you too. Bye bye.